wanna get high, man?
Let's stimulate your mind.
Get up, Chucky! What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
Rojan Kim?
Hello, and welcome to the Rojan Kimcast. It's me, Rojan Kim. Thank you for tuning in today on the March day, the day of March. A new month, which means more data on my plan so I can keep podcasting. This is part of the reason why I couldn't podcast the 2 times a week. Oh shit, that means that I probably can't do it this month because February is the shortest month. I was trying to do 2 times a week, and I did until the last week when I ran out of data. That's just, you don't want to know about how the sausage is made. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm here now. It's March. No longer Black History Month. Hey, don't. I know you were about to say something, the N-word. You were about to say, thank God it's over or whatever. And no, I don't accept. I don't believe in Black History Month. I believe in Black History Decade at minimum. Should be like a decade of it. Okay? Come on. You wouldn't love that? Forget how amazing is Black Church. The fucking Black Decade would be fucking spectacular. Just give him one. That's what I say. Just let him have it. I think it'd be fucking amazing. All right. Anyways, I love black people. There. Just cancel me with that, bitch. I love black people. Are you kidding me? Including all the ones that robbed me. All right. And I mean, it's a coincidence that the ones I've ever been robbed are black, but at least they had the courtesy to do it face to face. Not like these student loan motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Huh? And then there's like thunderous applause. Just yeah, like at the Apollo. Yeah, just fucking. All right. That's me, man. I'm fucking so down. I'm so down. And Down syndrome. Okay. Hi. Welcome to the Rojan Kimcast. This is me, Rojan Kim. What do I have to talk about today? Well, I don't know. I feel like what's in the news? It's like politics, coronavirus. There's war going on. I mean, there's lots of wars. We got the United States has about 7 things going on. 7 different countries. I'd say 7. That number comes from, it was I can't remember who it was, the fucking World Health Organization, whoever the fuck, some organization that was just showing all the different conflicts in the world, and it showed where the U.S. had air power, meaning we were drone striking, and it was 7 countries, right? Including the classics, Iraq, Afghanistan. We know about those. We're like, yeah, okay, that's 2, but then what else? Well, apparently we've been bombing Syria. You know about Syria. It's been popping off in Syria, so that's 3. And then we did the Libya thing. You remember Libya? With the Gaddafi, and you got the bayonet up the ass, and with the Libya model, which they suggested we may use on North Korea. Anyways, Libya now is slave markets and shit. Now it's complete. It's a hotbed of terrorism, and we drone strike it. So that's 4. That's Libya, so Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, Somalia. We're in Somalia, in Africa. Yeah, didn't know that, right? Yeah, but the pirates, the fucking pirates. Remember those pirates? Fuck, goddamn, we need to do something about them. All right, do something about them. So we're there too. Where else? Yemen. Yeah, Yemen. Yeah, man. Yemen. That's a tough one. We just drone strike somebody there. We just did somebody recently after Soleimani hit somebody in Yemen. So we're still there. Dog. We're still. Wait, that's 6. All right, Yemen. What is 7? God damn it. What is 7? Because we're not drone striking. It's definitely in the Middle East. Right, it's definitely that area. Or Africa. Ooh, might be another Africa. Yeah, because it was Libya, Somalia. There's definitely one other one. It doesn't fucking matter. Okay, look it up. Do I have to look it up? Am I obsessed now with oh, god damn it. Now I got to look it up just so that people aren't like, Rojan's always like fucking saying like, we're in 7 wars. But I think that's kind of like, a lie, or maybe he's like fucking, I don't know. What am I when I Googled American Air Power, the Air Force came up and just it's all about hold on. America wars. Current. Okay, boom. Current. Let's see where we're at. Where are we at? No, this is a timeline of all the wars of the United States. God damn it. This is terrible. Here we go. What? Oh, god damn it. All right. Well. Oh, here we go. U.S. acknowledges war is at war in 7 countries. Okay, great. Awesome. There. New York Times. You could look it up. Just type in. It was not hard. I'm still... Oh, here we go. Niger. God damn it. We are in Niger. Okay? Happy Black History Month. Fuck, dude. All right, so that's the... I'm sorry that took so much time. That was... This is when it's good to have a co-host to be like, hey, and then other news, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, look, we're in 7 wars. 7 wars. I'm the bad guy? I am the bad guy? Yes, me. I'm the bad guy. They're bombing 7 countries when the whole time they could just be coming after me. But no, I'm not the bad guy here. I'm a nobody. I don't matter to them, not as much as the people they're killing in the 7 countries I tried to list off. All right, let's do it. Hey, you know what? It's very, it's like blue balls, It's like there's no finish if we don't do all 7. So we gotta do the 7 like 7 dwarves, right? The 7 fucking sins, the fucking, there's the 7 countries. So, boom, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria, Somalia, Yemen, Niger. So those are the... Which is not Nigeria. What do you call people from Niger, man? Because there is a Nigeria. Oh, no. Happy Black History Month. Shit. And 9 of these are not the N-words. This is not the N-words. I just want to know there is a country, there's a Niger and a Nigeria. Nigerians are from Nigeria. What do we call the people from Niger? I don't know. Maybe a black person could help us. This is why you need black friends, okay? This is why everybody should have friends who are black to help them navigate this complex stuff. See, it's not fair that we segregate this talk from black people. I'm sorry. I'm just not. And here I am. That you know what? I'm gonna go. I got some black friends. God damn it! I'm gonna go get them. I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get him. Bring him back on the podcast, or bring him on the podcast maybe for the first time. Hey, look, go. I challenge you. Go through my guest record, list of guests I've had, and try to say that I'm racist. If anything, I think I've never had an Asian guy on. If anything, I'm very racist against Asian guys. So I don't want him on air. Get out of here. Ew. Which, I think if I was completely honest and I was going to rank all of them, Asian guys probably on the lowest end of the spectrum of my friend list. Okay. Not my family. They're all, well, that's the thing. They're overrepresented in my family and in me. I'm one. So I don't know. I think different perspectives, and not to say there is some kind of monolithic Asian perspective, right? There's no such thing. So it's not like, God damn it, maybe I'm a hypocrite. Maybe I need to make more Asian friends. I had Asian friends, man. So like a white person with black friends. There was one guy in college. He sold me weed, man. He did. It was an Asian guy. He sold me weed. Okay, so this is actually pretty funny. I feel like maybe I gotta write this down. Just this idea that me with Asian guy friends is it's like white people with black people. That makes sense. I'm sure I'll remember what that means later when I say it in public on stage. I don't even think I just wrote me with Asian is like white people with black. So hopefully that's something that makes sense later. I don't know if I can. All right. Wow. I totally strayed. I wrote down stuff like what I want to talk about. It's probably for the best I didn't talk about. I was going to talk about stuff that everybody else is talking about, so you don't need to talk about it, right? You don't need to hear about the fucking coronavirus anymore. The fucking politics. Everybody's talking about it. It's fine. Let's move on. I'll tell you what I did over the weekend. It was fun. It was I went on a Bighorn sheep counting survey. Well, there was this. Okay, backstory. So you may not know. Got the old hunter's education certificate. A month ago. I have just been doing a lot of research. I can't get a gun. I'm not gonna get a gun right now. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment without any closet space. Like, where am I gonna? I don't have a safe for a. It's just not a safe thing. And could I become an archer? And I could get a bow. I could get one. Very mighty tempted to get a bow. Under $100, get one. Start bow hunting, or at least shooting a bow. So I could do that. I could get a pellet gun. There are other things I could do besides getting an actual firearm to start hunting. But on the other hand, I do live it's a small 1-bedroom apartment in Hollywood. I don't think I have necessarily the room to start collecting hunting gear. I mean, just the gear just to make the bare minimum to go count these sheep. It's just, I don't know. It's taking up a lot of space, I don't have a lot of space. So anyways, I'm on the internet. So that's one thing I have is time. I can research. So I've been researching, and then somehow I came across this call for volunteers to go count bighorn sheep in the San Gabriel Mountains. Weird, but cool. I was like, all right, I'll do it. So I signed up for the thing, and the orientation was on Saturday. Yeah, it was on Saturday. There's like 200 people in there, man. It was like in Arcadia. I guess that's their office there, and the office of the Department of Wildlife, for California, or no, the Forest Service, whatever. It's very confusing. Why you start kind of navigating the forest system and kind of understanding this stuff. But I was very surprised. 200 people of all walks of life, not just a bunch of white people, as you might expect. I mean, this being LA, there was plenty of Asians and Latinos interspersed. I can't recall if I saw any black people. There were a couple. Right? I'd say they were underrepresented, but mostly I was surprised at the diversity and in age too. Older people obviously were like in leadership positions, but a lot of young people there. I was surprised. Couples were there. I guess they put out a big thing on NPR, and they put out a big thing. So a lot of conservation-minded folks were out there. I would say some of them were hunters. Obviously, some of them were. But in California, hunting is not it's not seen as cool, and so they're kind of like not open so much about it. Yeah. So there were some there. There's some other wildlife people. There were biologist stuff. And so it was it's a little on the boring side, the orientation, but it was important. Apparently, these bighorn sheep are native to California, native to North America. They're from here, so they're not and they're threatened by the sheep imported from overseas, domesticated sheep, because they have diseases that the bighorns, because they evolved over here, don't. It's like a Native American thing. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the immunity. And these fucking dirty-ass European sheep come and make them sick. And a bunch of them die getting sick, but then there's a little rebound in the population because it rains, and the fires kind of affect things. Like, it actually moves them around, so there are these surveys to see where they are. And so basically there's, like, different descriptions of the sites. There's like 5 sites that they said we're gonna go to that they're gonna send volunteers to, and a couple of the sites were like kind of easy. You could just like one of them you could just literally drive up, and you just park your car and have binoculars and look, just look, and that's for the people who couldn't really hike. And then there's another one that was like an old piece of highway. You don't have to hike anywhere. Also, you just kind of like, I guess the sheep actually come and do their sheep things on the highway. It's just so I guess the sites are picked based on these biologists who have determined where the most sheep sightings are, where they're most likely to be seen, and then volunteers are sent to try to see if we can spot them, right? Makes sense. So I kept looking around, and then one of the sites was like, you need a 4x4 to get there, and it was like a 2,000 foot climb within 5 miles. I mean, I don't know if you get that, but that's a steep. I mean, some of that shit you got to be like, on your hands and knees, basically climbing up and down. I don't know. I just wasn't really built for that. I don't have a 4x4, and I don't I don't want to slide around rock. I don't have health insurance. I don't want to fall down some cliff, So I ran into this site called South Fork Campground. And the dude, Jason, he was the biologist that was leading the thing with his wife. That was also a biologist. That was actually one of the 2 biologists who work with Bighorn sheep, the sheep ladies. So one of the sheep ladies and her husband was leading this one, and they were, it was accessible. The 4x4. It was on the north end of the Angeles National Forest, which I've been curious about since it is my home forest, national forest. And then, and he was saying like, it's not like super easy, but it's not super hard either. There's a little bit of a hike, a little bit of a climb, but it's not super hard. So I was like, cool, do it. And he said, be there at 7:30 tomorrow. I was like, okay. And it was an hour and a half away, so I had to get up at 6, got over there. Listen, man, I bought boots for this. I've fucking been broke, so I haven't really been able to buy anything. And then, I just did get a job, so I managed to put a little money away to get some stuff, some gear for this thing. So I got me some boots, I got some wool socks, I got a backpack to put shit in, and I got some binoculars. Why did I say it like that? Binoculars. And the reason I did it all is because, I keep thinking about. I've always liked camping. I like animals, and I'm thinking about hunting, all these things, So fuck it, might as well go in the wild and glass, right? That's what they call glassing, right? In the hunting circles, right? Called glassing, just like looking through binoculars, scanning for animals. And this was a way to do it with somebody guiding me somewhere and whatever. And in the interests of the greater good of knowing how many native sheep there are in our golden state of California. So I went. It was nice. There was like a group of 12 people there. Again, mixed race, mixed ages, all sorts. And it was like the hike. Okay, so we start this hike, and it's rocky. It's nice. I don't know. It's really nice. It's not a Runyon Canyon. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a fucking manicured, well-traveled area. So it's a rocky area. It's a trail that just this guy knows, and they've seen sheep there. A lot of it had to do with the lady, the biologist was like, there's a prison by there, and those are the guys that they use as firefighters for when the fires were there. And this is where that area is where they train. And I guess the prisoner saw fucking sheep with the biologist and the whatever. So that's why this area, which is actually like in a different part from the other areas, like the other 4 or 5 areas, was like a new spot they decided to scout because these new sheep were sighted there and because these prisoners saw them or whatever. So we're there and we fucking go up this it's a rocky trail. I would say, it's a medium. I would say it's appropriately medium difficulty. Like I needed boots. You can't do it with shoes. Like I needed boots. It's rocky. And some of it was kind of narrow against as we climbed higher. So at one point we kind of climbed higher and got narrow and but not scary. Yeah, I wouldn't say scary. I mean, I trusted the guide. I was following him and he's a bigger and older dude, and he was, I trusted the guy, and he told me, he was like, there's a part where I don't think I'd do it. We're not gonna do it. So and so as we climb up, I'd say it was about like a 30-minute or so hike. The whole walk maybe is about under an hour. He started dropping people off at certain stations, and I decided, I'm keeping up, so I'll stay up toward the top, and I did maybe the third to last or second to last station. Set up some binoculars, I took a yoga mat, so I just threw that down because it's rocky. So I fucking threw that down, sat on a yoga mat, had some binoculars out, and just scanning, and fucking it just starts raining, man. It's so rainy, so cold. I mean snow. It started snowing. It was in California. I know it's the middle of winter, and I just didn't think. We're in the mountains. I didn't even think about that. We're actually, we are in the mountains. And I had enough layers, but it was just rain. The binoculars are getting all wet. I'm fogging, and everything's all wet, foggy. When the snow started, I was like, dude, are we packing it up? And I saw the group ahead of me coming down. But before all this, forgot to mention, there's a dude up ahead, a little bit higher than us, and he had said, like, he spotted 5 sheep. He had a spotting scope and spotted 5 sheep. Meanwhile, me and the guy down there, we couldn't see shit from where we were, but that's because from his angle, he could see, and he could see farther too, So, packing it up, I'm like, fuck, pack up all my gear, and the group is just kind of stopped, and a little higher than I am, right? They're all looking through the binoculars and scopes and looking in the direction as the old guy was. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go up there too. Because if I didn't bring my binoculars, because they were fucked, man. They were like, they were cheap Chinese binoculars. Cheap Chinese coronavirus. They got all fogged up. I think maybe they weren't waterproof. It's my fault. I should have known. I don't know. Shit. I'm returning those binoculars, and they might use this podcast against me. Be like, you told us it was defective, but it's your fault. All right, sorry. I'm sorry, Chinese government. Okay. Anyways, I went over there. I was like looking. Honestly, I am not used to looking at stuff through binoculars, and not accustomed. Like, a lot of them are experienced hunters or experienced wildlife watchers, whatever, like use spotting scopes and stuff, know what they're doing. But I was just like, I just feel like, we were actually pretty close to what we were looking at. So I was like, I feel like I could see them with my eyes. I feel like they're just moving. If I just know what I'm looking for and they're moving, I feel like I could spot it. And I think what happened was the older dude was like, he kept saying, oh, there's a curvy tree. And and if you go from there, that's where I saw it or whatever. And so I kept looking in that area until I saw something moving. And I was like, dude, I think I see it. It was right there, and I saw a patch of snow, and then like just diagonally to like 45 degrees, there it was. This white thingy moving. So a bunch of guys got their scopes on it, and they're like, yep, that's it. It's it. And it was a ewe. It was a female, and apparently the guy who saw like 5 of them took pictures of them. So he saw. So there was like a couple of ewes, some lambs probably bedded down, because it was rainy. The whole thing is it's rainy, and calling it quits because the other sites they were supposed to have helicopter flyovers, to aid them in the survey, and they had to cancel all that shit because of the weather. Of course, right now, look, it's sunny. It's fucking sunny out there. It was like, so they could only do this thing once a year. So I guess, what ended up happening was a lot of the groups got canceled because of the weather. No helicopter, whatever. All those other sites actually, I think it got hit with harder weather than we did. And then also all the people lower than where I was, all the other people, they just went home. They're like, fuck this. And, called it quits and went home. So managed to see sheep. I managed to see a sheep with my bare eyes. So I actually, really didn't even need binoculars or whatever. But it also was a lesson in how difficult this shit is. It's not easy scanning places with binoculars and you don't even know what you're looking for. Fuck, hunting's going to be hard, right? Or at least this kind of hunting. It's fucking hard as fuck. Jesus Christ. But it was all like worth it. I don't know. I just felt like it was weird. Felt weirdly calm out there, man. Very calm, just watching, looking for stuff. I didn't really feel like impatient or bored or like, I don't know. So I think in that way it was a good sign. I feel like I could do this if I needed to, if I had the means, I guess, you know, if I made more money and had the right gear and whatever, the right place, enough space to put things and whatever, just live like I guess you have to really have a little more of more stuff, you know. You got that's not necessarily true, but at the minimum, I think you do need space. You know, you need space. So that is something I am lacking a little bit. But it was all worth it just to see the fucking sheep, and then just to see the guy's pictures, to see the evidence that, you know, there's sheep out there. We saw them, and that we were the only team probably that reported anything on these data sheets that they had us all have. You know, that we were the only ones, and it's fucking, I don't know, felt good. What a nerd I am. But that's my sheep story. Counting sheep, baby. Counting sheep. Just like the news. That's what they're doing, is counting sheep when they freak us out over coronavirus and the politics and everything. It's a song I came up with while I was out there on my way home. Almost hit a jackrabbit. I just ran across the street while I was, look kind of young. Makes sense. It's springtime. Juvenile jackrabbits. Jackrabbits can be hunted all year long. All year long. All year long. Am I gonna start hunting jackrabbits now? I don't know, man. I don't know. See, hunting will probably be inevitably what kills me. I'll be out in the wilderness by myself, just getting, I don't know. Most likely self-harm, some kind of accidental, I'll like fall or shoot myself accidentally. Like slice myself and bleed to death while I try to cut a jackrabbit open. Like, it's just, I feel like it's just so, this is why men die. Do you understand? Men just die young or earlier, or for just dumb reasons like this, like being out in the wilderness. Just, you know, it's just what happens. But whatever, right? You can't live in fear. I'm not going to stay indoors because of coronavirus. I'm not going to go in the wilderness because of fucking mountain lions or whatever, or stabbing myself. All this can happen. This is all stuff that could happen. All right. I don't know what I'm yelling about. Anyways, well, judging from how long I've been going now, I don't know, this data plan, I'm going to do my best to do 2 times a week, guys, or keep it up. You know, it might be, I don't know, we'll see. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening to my story about counting sheep out in the San Gabriel Mountains. And thank you so much for listening at all to the Rojan Kimcast. Please find me on the webs, inter or intra or whatever it is, however you get on there. I don't care. Dark, whatever. I don't know. I don't ask questions. Just follow me. I'm on Twitter at Rojan Kim, Instagram, and yeah, I don't know. Go to my website. Subscribe to this podcast wherever one does such things. I think I am on it. And I got shows coming up, but any of that really matter? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna be out at the OC for a lot this month, and yeah, well, whatever. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it, and I'll get back to you on the other stuff. I don't know what that means. Thank you. Bye.